That's right, this deck won 8 games in a row, ranked all the way up to Platinum. Let's show you the games.
The real treasure was the friends we made along the way.
Welcome to another video. It turns out the Masterduel training course involved multiple quizzes, so we got to take another Masterduel exam. Otherwise, we will not be allowed to play Masterduel. Question number 1. Oh my god, what is the name of this card? This is, I'm pretty sure, Celtic Guardian. There's a lot of different ones, but this is the OG, Celtic Guardian. You can't catch me with this. Alright, that is too easy of a question. This is a very difficult question. What is the name of this card? Decoy Squad, Marauding Squad, Pothole Squad, or Elite Attack Force. I'm going to go Decoy Squad. We got 2 seconds left, and that was right. Got to watch the timer. That was a complete guess. Which of the following statements about tribute summons is correct? They can tribute summon face-down defense position monsters on the field. They are a type of special summon. Can tribute summon in face-up defense position. We must tribute a monster when tribute summoning. No, sometimes you can cheat. Yeah, you can tribute face-down defense position monsters. We are correct. Look, we are professionals, but there's 5 questions. What is this card? What type? It's Divine Beast. It's a Egyptian god. Sorry for swearing. We're going to censor that. In Digital Bugs, in cyberspace, in solo mode, what were the Digital Bugs originally? They were defects in the cyber network. Wow, I know the bug lore. I know the bug lore. Yes, we are experts. Let's get to the games. Alright, so what is it that ties Gishkis and Dinomorphs together? It is the payment of life points. Dinomorphia Frenzy makes you pay half your life points. All your Dinomorphia cards make you pay half your life points. We're getting max seed, but it's okay, because Dinomorphs plays on the opponent's turn. So, we're going to get the Gishki Photo Mirror, and this is going to pay a lot of life points. Let's get the focus, because now we could do an amazing start board, and you're going to see this, alright? If you stick around in the video, I'll show you the amazing board you can make if you don't get hit by the max C. We got hit by the max C, so we're going to do a reduced board, alright? We're just going to make the Naramanis. Alright, Naramanis on field. We're not even going to activate Naramanis effect to summon from the graveyard because we don't want our opponent drawing any additional cards. Let's set our Dinomorphia Frenzy, activate Tharazia. Tharazia going to search from the deck, and our opponent playing Rescue Ace. They are a racist. Now, you know what we say about racists, alright? We beat them, alright? We beat them with our fish. So, opponent summoned the Turbulence. We're going to set a Dinomorphia alert on the field, which because we already got the Frenzy, alright? If we didn't have the Frenzy in hand, we would have searched the Frenzy. Opponent, it's your turn. Accept, end step. Our Gishki Focused Aqua Mirror is going to activate, set an Aqua Mirror Illusion. This is going to give us a second Monster Negate. So we got Monster Negate, we got Activate Dinomorphs, and we got Return Dinomorphs from the graveyard to the hand. Max Seed going to make sure we have some plays for the following turn. Opponent Max Seed us, so it's only fair that we Max Seed them. Opponent playing the Airlifter. Now, I know this deck because I played it in my other video. Make sure you check that out, alright? I am also a racist. And the Rescue Ace Airlifter, it's going to search for the Rescue Ace field spell, which is going to let them recycle all their banished Rescue Ace cards that they're going to get each turn. So we are going to negate opponent Rescue Ace Impulsing. And this is just going to summon a Rescue Ace from the deck. So, you know what? That's fine. But it's time to Dinomorbin time. Now, the great thing about paying 5,000 life points with the Photo Mirror, alright, if you're playing the Dinomorphs, is that normally you'd have to go into your Kentragina first, and then you go in your Rex term. Otherwise, your life points are too high to do anything. But our life points are already at 15, so we can just go straight into the Rex term. Here he is. Rex term it up. Now, opponent's monsters can't activate their effects on the field if their attack is more than our life points. Right now, our life points 1,500. Opponent, Airlifter cannot activate. Turbulence cannot activate. So opponent not able to activate the Rescue Ace effects. Now the Fire Hydrant though, Fire Hydrant can activate effects. So luckily we got the Naramanis, except we already used our Naramanis negate. But we got a backup plan, or we got a backup plan. We definitely want to negate this Fire Hydrant. Luckily, we get priority. We can Aqua Mirror Illusion, get that Naramanis back on field. And now if opponent activates the Fire Hydrant, we are going to negate it. Opponent activating the Hydrant. Hydrant is gone. We know how to play Rescue Ace. Fire Hydrant negated. Alright. Now, this boy triggers if a Rescue Ace leaves the field by an opponent's card, except he can't trigger because the Dinomorphia Rex term is stopping him. Cannot activate his effect. Alright. What is the Rescue Ace player going to do? What does the racist do next? Banishes cards from the graveyard. Summons the Turbulence. Turbulence on field. Opponent thinks they're smart. They're like, You fool. Your life points are at a pitiful 1500, and now I'm going to attack over your Thrasia for game. They forgot about the other effect of Rex term. Quick effect activate. Have our life points. Opponent's monsters' attack points get made equal to our life points. Put them at a tiny 750. They still cannot activate their effects because their attack is equal to our life points, so Rex term keeps us safe. Alright, safe from the damage. Opponent, your rescue ace is gone. They have no more plays. They cannot activate set 4 back row. Meteor arriving just in time. Let's Gishki it up, get the Abyss, search for the Shadow, and we can easily get lethal from here. Will opponent let us get lethal though? Alright, if they don't let us, it's okay, because we're going to show you how to get Gishki lethal. I'm going to show you, alright? That's going to be the next one. We're going to show you how to do it, because it's easy. It's real easy. Let's summon the Naramanus. Alright, opponent, you going to let us get Gishki lethal? Naramanus activate, get back the Abyss. Abyss activate, get the Gishki vision. We're going to Sprite Elf. Sprite Elf activate. And we're going to go to battle phase because we're scared. Alright, we're scared. And we don't have another copy of the ritual spell. We could have done it. Alright, look, we could have done it. But I was getting afraid. Alright, I was getting afraid. I didn't want to overextend. You go Marincess Coral Anemone. Get another search with the Abyss. Get the other ritual spell. And then we ritual spell. Alright, we could have ritualed it up. But it's okay. You know what? We're just going to beat our opponent. We got the negates. We got the IP Masquerena. We can get our Dinomorphia back onto the field with the alert. I feel very safe. Opponent, there's surely nothing you can do to beat us. Alright. And this is it. They got locked. The Cash Tier Fenrir can't activate. Even its effect when it attacks cannot activate. Opponent using alert to add their Rescue Ace Turbulence back to the hand. Opponent, summoning the Fire Hydrant. Fire Hydrant gets negated. No Hydrant for you. Hydrant is negated. We could have got lethal if I was playing better. Alright, stick around, I'll show you that. Rescue Ace Turbulence coming back out. Banishing some cards from the graveyard. Opponent gonna let us activate our Sprite Elf, get the Grimness. Grimness gonna activate, get the Abyss, search for the Gishki Shadow so we can ritual summon again. Activate IP Masquerena, stealing our opponent's monster. Make the Underworld Mommy. Now opponent's monsters are negated permanently. Let's Dinomorphia again. Get the Kentragina, who is very thick. Thick Kentragina with the 3,900 attack points. We're going to die, except not. Rex term, reduce. Opponent, your rescue ace is gone. You have no more cards, and it is over. Alright, we could have done that more efficiently. Let's go on to the next game to see how it's done. Alright, if you like this video, make sure to subscribe. We'll have more quality content in the future, and stick around to the end because we will have Sink or Swim. Opponent going first. We're going to activate that Max C. Hopefully, we'll draw some cards. Opponent going to set a back row. Not going to let us draw a single card with Max C. Alright, you know what? Max C gives us a turn. Opponent made a fatal mistake. They're like, what are you going to do? Alright, what are you going to do? You can't get me. I got one back row. How are you going to get me? We'll show it here. This is how you do it, alright? Gishki, Abyss. Opponent going to activate Max Seed too. Alright, only fair. We got Max Seed. They got Max Seed. Now, normally you would do this with the Gishki Grimness, alright? Which means you're locked into attacking with only ritual monsters. So we're not locked into attacking with only rituals, but we're going to do it that way anyway. Opponent Cash Tier Preparation is going to special summon a Cash Tier from the hand, which means this is Cash Tier as they were too afraid to play into the Max C. Fenrir on the field. When we activate a monster effect, he can banish a card on our field. Let's activate Gishki Shadow. Search for the Necro Mirror. Opponent, you have an opportunity. You can activate your Fenrir. You can banish our Abyss, who isn't doing anything. Abyss is gone. Let's activate that Necro Mirror. Pay life points equal to the attack of our Gishki monster. And we contribute an opponent's monster as the cost of our ritual summon. Get that Fenrir out of here. Summon the Zelgigas. We are under Max C. Opponent drawn 1. Activate the Necro Mirror. This is the next step. Very important. You got to put your Gishki back on top of the deck with the Necro Mirror. And then you activate the Zelgigas. Clear an opponent's card from the field. They got to have a card. If they don't have a card, you will be forced to banish your own Zelgigas. Alright, everyone in the comments was telling me this. Alright, last time I accidentally almost did this. An opponent negated it, so I didn't learn my lesson. So I learned my lesson, alright. Now the Gishki Aqua Mirror. Going to activate. You tribute to summon your Naramanus. You tribute your monster on field. And then Naramanus will summon. Opponent drawing 2 cards with Max C. Summon back the Zelgigas. Opponent drawing 3 cards with Max C. Get in for 6,200 damage with your ritual monsters, and you're like, hold on a second, that's not lethal. What, you messed up. That's not lethal damage. You watch this next line, alright? We go for the gun. We make the Rail Cannon. Gustav Max activate his effect. Opponent draws 4 cards with Max C. If opponent has an Imperm, we are done. If opponent has that, Cyframe Gamma Gear, we are done. But sometimes you got to believe in the power of the gun. Gun, activate. Opponent's done. Love to see it. Gishki, OTK. Let's go on to the next game. I will have the full deck list at the end of the video. If you want to use this deck to climb up to the Platinum rank, maybe even the Master rank, alright? If you grind enough. Opponent going first playing Beautunifuls, and it hurts me to do this, alright? Because, I love the fish decks. But you activate Beautiful. If that gets hit by the Ash Blossom, you're in the most saddest of states. So we are going to negate. Ash Blossom negate. Opponent, do you have a response? Opponent has nothing. Ash Blossom, shut him down. Beautiful does nothing. Opponent used their normal summon. They're set into back row. Alright, so we don't know what opponent is playing, but, it's a fish deck, alright? Is it Sharks? It could be. It could be Gishkis. It could be Goaties. So, I already feel bad, but we're not going to show mercy just because they're playing a fish deck. Alright, we got to teach them a lesson. Who's the master of the ocean? Opponent activating Imperm to negate our Thrasia. That is okay. I do not care about Thrasia. I got all the traps I need in hand already. Let's set our Dinomorphia Frenzy after attacking. Make sure this isn't a... So people do this sometimes, alright? I would never recommend you do this. But people set evenly matched. So always just do your attack first and then set your back row main phase 2. You only learn that lesson once. Let's set our back row, alright? Set one Trap Trick. Set one Dinomorphia Frenzy. Keep the other Trap Trick in hand. Why? Because you activate Trap Trick, you can only activate one more trap. So there's no reason to set 2. Alright? We already got the Dinomorphia Frenzy on field. Opponent in their main phase, alright? You can only activate this after opponent does something in their main phase, because it's only activated on main phase. Opponent gets an opportunity to do something before you can activate the Frenzy. But opponent just setting a face down, they got no plays. Really got him with that Beautiful hit. An opponent hitting us with the Ash Blossom, alright. Very rude. We also got hit, so it's fair. Let's activate Trap Trick now. We should probably do this in the end phase. It would be more smart to do that. But we're going to activate Trap Trick, set another Dinomorphia Frenzy. Now, it is once per turn. So we cannot activate this one this turn, but we can activate it next turn. Opponent setting, hopefully not an Imperm, because that would be very awkward if our Dinomorphia Frenzy got negated. Draw into the Grimness. That is amazing. Grimness activate. Opponent, cross out designate, naming Grimness. This is the second... Okay, if you watch my last video, I'm pretty sure someone did this same thing. I got cross out designated on my, jellyfish or something. Opponents playing water decks, they're always getting us with the cross out designate. You wouldn't think it, but here it is. Alright, hit Grimness. Alright, Grimness negated. Opponent got us. Alright, it's fine. We still got plays. Let's get in with the Thrasia, and this is bad. Alright, this is actually quite bad. Alright, this boy has 1800 defense, so we take a little damage. That's fine. But now he's face up, which means if opponent draws any Sprite, the negate from Sprite Red is live. They got one set back row, which could be anything. Could be another negate. And that could be a problem. I think we can play through it, though. Alright, let's go into our own copy of Sprite Elf. And we're going to hold Sprite Elf this turn, because if we activate Get Grimness, he's already activated this turn. Can't activate again. We're going to hold, do the Sprite Elf play, get the Grimness on the next turn. Let's set our Trap Trick, and let's pass. Alright, opponent. You get one opportunity. Right, we got to hope this is not a Sprite. If this is a Sprite, this is a real game. Opponent, it's a Sprite. Opponent did it. Alright, so, opponent searches for the Sprite removal. Then we're in big trouble, because they can start removing our stuff, maybe remove our dinosaur. So we got to get our dinosaur out here right now. Dinosaur, get out here. And luckily, we paid a bunch of life points earlier with our Dinomorphia Frenzy that we activated last turn. So we can go straight into the Rex turn. No activating Thrasia. Thrasia is a bit of a risk, because who knows, opponent might be able to negate it. They got the Sprite Red to negate. So we go into Thrasia, they negate with Sprite Red, we get nothing. Alright. Opponent searches for the Sprite Starter. Sprite Starter, I don't know if Sprite Starter is going to be enough here for them. Maybe. Got to see what their back row is. We summon Rex Term in the nice little protected by Sprite Elf column here, because he is protecting us from our opponent's activated effects. Sprite Elf, 1400 attack. It is activatable. So we're going to activate Rex Term right now. And the great thing about Rex Term is that his effect, his continuous effect to negate monster effects or stop not monster effects from being activatable, once you activate Rex Term's effect, you pay the life points cost. Opponents cannot activate their monster effects in response, because the continuous effect of Rex Term has already applied. Your life points have been halved by paying the cost, so opponent can't activate Sprite Elf anymore. Opponent responding with an Imperm, they probably think they're smart here, except opponent, we know you're playing Sprites. You know that Sprite Elf protects the monsters the arrows point to from being targeted, so you cannot target our Rex Term to negate its effects. Sprite Elf being targeted mandatorily. Activating response. Opponent activating that Sprite Starter from the hand. Let's activate our trap trick, because we could be in big trouble, alright? Our life point's 925. Luckily, we got the answer. Alright, Ferret Flames. I would not have done this line if I did not have the ability to search for Ferret Flames, because opponent makes a big monster, attacks over our Sprite Elf, we're dead. Luckily, Ferret Flames will protect. Opponent summoning the Spray Blue. We get our Gishki Grimness. The negate does effectively nothing. Let's get the Abyss onto the field. Opponents, Spray Blue cannot activate to search for a Sprite because of the Rex term. Opponent, can't activate your Sprite Elf. All you can do is XZ, or you can attempt to attack into our Gishki Abyss. Opponent going into the Gigantic. This is a big mistake, because now we activate Ferret Flames. Their monster had more attack than our life points, so they got to shuffle all their monsters into the deck. That means they have no cards left, nothing activatable in the graveyard. Opponent is done. Back to our turn, and this is obviously easy. Lethal. Let's just search for any Gishki Ritual monster, get Ritual Summoning, and attack for game. Opponent is done. Sprites dismantled. Love to see it. Dinomorphs and Gishki's playing together beautifully. Let's go on to the next game. On to the next game, and I apologize. Alright, I forgot to put a nice field. I forgot to put nice sleeves. I made a big mistake. Please forgive me. Alright, you can forgive me by subscribing to the channel. That's how we accept forgiveness. Alright, I forgive you for not subscribing, and you forgive me for not using a nice field. Opponent summoning a Chaos Ruler, the Magical Dragon, and they got some sort of 60 card nonsense deck with the punks. You see all these chaos nonsense piles. We're going to fast forward. So, you know, who knows what they're doing. We got no interaction, but that doesn't mean we're done for, because we got Gishkis and we got Dinomorphs. And if there's one thing that Gishki Dinomorphs can do, it's get you out of tough situations. Opponent going into Zombie Vampire, going to randomly mill cards from our deck. Nothing useful on our side gets milled. Getting a Cash Tier Unicorn. Getting a Tearlament. This is just a who's who of nonsense. Opponent resummoning the Chaos Ruler. Drawing a card by banishing. Making a Saryuja. This is, it's always nonsense. Whenever Saryuja gets summoned, you know that opponent's up to nonsense shenanigans, alright? Opponent getting the Chaos Ruler. Summoning a Baron de Fleur with their Assault Synchron. Getting a Tearlament's Havness popped with the Baron's effect to summon a Kit Kalos. And, this is a piece of advice, alright? Because people always do this, alright? They summon their Kit Kalos and they get greedy. And they, instead of just sending a Tearlament name to the graveyard and fusioning summon the Rokalos, they do this, alright? They're like, I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to send just, something that mills cards so that I get to mill more. And then they mill into nothing useful. And they're like, oh, okay, fine. The answer is just that I need to mill more. So I'm going to activate my Kit Kalos, send itself to the graveyard, and then special summon my Tearlament from the graveyard. I'm just going to mill a billion cards and just hope that I lottery into a Tearlament name. Opponent does not hit a Tearlament name. Opponent does not hit a Tearlament name. Sends a Bestial Label into the graveyard. Activates Kashtira Birth to get another Kashtira. But they could have had a Rokalos here. Rokalos here would have probably stopped us. But with no Rokalos, I think we got a shot. Kashtira Fenrir, obviously going to banish a card if we activate a monster effect. Saryuja activating to boost the attack. So Saryuja says, alright, this is important, alright, we gotta read. Alright, I know we say not to read when you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh, but you gotta read. Saryuja says that if a monster is normal or special summon to his zone, it points to that monster gains 300 attack. This is not an optional effect. This is a mandatory effect, and Saryuja has an arrow that points up, which means we also get the boost. And that gives us the line. Alright, that gives us the line out of this. Opponent got one set back row. They got the Kashtira Fenrir to banish. They got the Baron negate. But we got the ultimate play. Alright, let's start things off. Now, we need this to resolve. Opponent does not know this, but we need this to resolve. We are activating this first because we know that there's nothing else we can do. But opponent is probably going to not negate this because this is not a once per turn. You can activate multiple of these. So we're going to activate. Opponent lets us get the shadow. Okay, now here's the line, alright? Now we can play through negates. Focused the Gishki Aquamirror here. If we activate and opponent negates, it's good. We use the Gishki Shadow. We search for the other ritual spell. We tribute their monster to ritual summon. We're good. Alright, we clear the Baron. If opponent doesn't negate, then we get the very thick Zilgigas on the field, and then we got plays. So let's see what opponent does. Opponent activating the Kashtira Birth, banishing Gishki cards from our graveyard. That's fine. Alright, that is fine. Let's activate the Aquamirror. Opponent does not negate. That means we get the extremely thick Yugioh, and we put him right in the zone of the Yugioh, meaning he gets boosted all the way to 3,500 attack points. And because that was opponent's monster's effect activating, it does not trigger the Fenrir, right? I thought about that. Yugioh, get in, pop the Baron, go to main phase 2, and now we got to believe in the heart of the cards here. Because Yugioh, you know, he's thick, sure, but he's not doing anything else. But he has a special ability, all right? You saw before, we can pay 1,000 life points. All right, we can pay 1,000 life points, draw the top card of our deck. If it's a Gishki, we get to banish a card on the field. We get to shuffle it into the deck, sorry, not banish. But we don't know what's on top of the deck. We can't stack our deck with the Gishki Aqua Mirror. That's the other one that does that. So we don't know what's on top of the deck. We just got to believe in the heart of the cards. Believe in the heart of the cards. Pay 1,000 life points, and it is the Gishki Abyss. That means we get to banish the Fenrir before it activates to banish our Yugioh. Now we can normal summon that Abyss. Get Abyss summoning. Get the Gishki Vision. Now we can activate the Vision. Search for a ritual monster, but opponent hitting us with the Ash Blossom. All right, Ash Blossom got us, but it's okay. We're not out of this yet. Let's link summon. Get the Sprite Elf. Activate Sprite Elf. Opponent has the Imperm. All right, okay, opponent, you got us. You got us with the Imperm. All right, but opponent is out of interaction. All right, they have one card in hand. We can use the Kashtira Birth to get back a Kashtira, but we still got plays. Let's get our Yugioh back to the hand. Let's set 3 back row. All right, we got the Ferret Flames to protect. We got the Dinomorphia alert to resummon Dinomorphs from the graveyard. There aren't any right now. No Thrazias got banished. That's good. Good news. And we got the Dinomorphia Frenzy. Opponent, it's your turn. You get 1 activation. Opponent chooses to activate the Kashtira Birth in response. Let's Dinomorphia Frenzy. It's time. Let's get Kentrigina on field. We need our life points low, low, low. We need them as low as they can go. Kentrigina on the field. Opponent gets their summon of the Fenrir, but watch how this works. All right, Yugioh activating. That's fine. Activate Kentrigina. All right. Fenrir going to trigger, right? He's going to trigger after a monster effect activates. New chain. Fenrir going to trigger. I don't think so. Kentrigina. Send 2 Dinomorphs to the graveyard, copying the effect of the Dinomorphia Frenzy to summon the Rex Term and opponent, your monsters, their attack. It's all greater than our life points. That means you can't activate your Fenrir. You can't activate your Unicorn to search. You can't activate your Fenrir to search. You can't activate your Fenrir effect to banish. You can't activate your Unicorn effect to look at our extra deck. Opponent, going to battle? I do not think so. Ferret Flames. All your monsters have more attack than our life points. That means you got to shuffle all your monsters back into the deck. This does work around unaffected Noir. Noir, unaffected by effects, but they are affected by their opponent for being forced to shuffle it in. So Ferret Flames wipes up our opponent's entire board. They cannot handle it. They are out of here. Dinomorphia Gishkis does it again. Let's go on to the next game. On to the next game. We are going first, and we got a pretty solid setup. Let's Gishki Abyss search for the Shadow since we have a Vision in hand. We also get the Yugioh in hand, but we're going to get the Neremanis, activate Shadow, get the Ritual spell, get the Aqua Mirror. Aqua Mirror going to let us summon the Neremanis without losing life points, because losing life points is great. It's all fun and games, but sometimes, you know, you don't have any, Dinomorph cards, and you don't really need to lose life points. So let's just summon our Sprite Elf using our 2 Gishkis. Activate the Aqua Mirror, get our Yugioh back to hand. Activate Sprite Elf, get the Abyss back on field, activate to search. Search for the Gishki Shadow. Set a face down impermanence. Activate to search for the Gishki Photo Mirror. And you know what? How I said earlier that I was like, why pay life points when you don't have to? We're going to pay life points because we can get an additional piece of interaction. We're paying 5,000 life points, but we get Yugioh on field, which means we can go into, where is it? Masquerena. Masquerena gives us a lot of interaction on our opponent's turn, so I think it's worth it to pay 5,000 life points. Let's activate that Photo Mirror. Get the Yugioh out here. Link off into the IP Masquerena. And pass the opponent. Opponent is your move. Your play. Can you break the board? Opponent with the Kashtira Fenrir. Alright, we are going to activate our Neremanis effect. Negate the Fenrir. Respond to our own activation with the Spray Elf. Targeting the Gishki Vision because I forgot I did not have Gishki, the other one, the Gishki Grimness in the graveyard. Gishki Grimness can activate. It doesn't miss the timing, but Gishki Abyss does miss the timing. So we should have waited till the Fenrir effect was negated and we had started a new chain we could summon, and then we get our search. So we messed it up. All right, we messed it up. I make mistakes. Sometimes I make mistakes. We give our opponent a chance. That's what this was about. Opponent activating the Bestial Lubellion. We are going to Ash Blossom, negate the Bestial Lubellion effect to search for Bestial. It is a bit of a risky Ash, but you know what? We're going for it. Opponent Chaos Basin, sending their Bestial Sereneer to the graveyard to add the White Dragon Rival Burster. And now, activating that Bestial Sereneer to send a Bestial card to the graveyard. Again, the Strike a Dragon. Strike a Dragon can add Boot Sector Launch, but opponent not going for it. Instead, going into the Romulus. Romulus going to activate. The Black Dragon Collapse Serpent going to activate to search for a White Dragon. We are going to negate the effect of the Dragoonity Knight to search for Dragon Ravine. Opponent gets their Wyver Burster. It is negated. Opponent, what are your next plays? They are activating the Chaos Space to draw a card. Now we are going to link Shokan into another Sprite Elf, because Sprite Elf is too thick to die to the Dragoonity Knight. That's why we did that. Alright, we don't want to do any other plays. Opponent sat 1 back row. Back to our turn. Ferret Flames, nice draw in this situation. Because we paid so much life points with the Gishkis, Ferret Flames is actually live. Alright, Gishki Grimness. Summon it onto the field. Get ourselves the Gishki Abyss. Get ourselves the Gishki Shadow. Shadow activate. Get ourselves the Aqua Mirror. Aqua Mirror contribute the Grimness using the entire ritual cost because of its effect. To get that Neremanis on field, Neremanis going to activate to summon a water monster from the graveyard. Let's get back the Zilgigas that we ritual summoned earlier, meaning it is activatable. We're going to do Blind Draw, pay 1,000 life points. Blind Draw, not a Gishki, it's a Tharazia. Have we used our normal summon? Yes, we have. That's okay. All right. We got Ferret Flames. Go to battle. Hit that Dragoonity Knight. Hit opponent with the Neremanis. And it is not quite lethal. Opponent has 3,000 life points. So we got to give him an additional turn. No point going into the gun if it's not going to get the KO. Nightmare Phoenix. Going to discard the Tharazia to pop that back row. Opponent's Chaos Space is gone. Let's activate to add back our Zilgigas. Link Shokan into a many negate Appaloosa. We got many negates. We got the Sprite Elf. We got the negate with the Neremanis. We got the Ferret Flames. Opponent, it's your move. Opponent, White Dragon Wyver Burster. Activating Bestial Baldrake in response to target the activation we were activating to get back IP Masquerena. Opponent banishing the IP Masquerena with the Baldrake. I do not think so. Activate Appaloosa, negate. Negate the Baldrake. Baldrake not going to banish our IP Masquerena. IP Masquerena onto the field. Now we can link Shokan at quick play speed. Opponent tribute summoning the Baldrake. Banishing Chaos Space to draw a card. Go into battle. Attacking our Sprite Elf. It's Ferret Flames time. Bit of a risky line on the Ferret Flames. Let him attack. But you know what? Opponent's got no plays left. We got multi-negate Appaloosa. And opponent has 3,000 life points. Let's get in with a Neremanis for lethal damage. Love to see it. Chaos Pile has been defeated by the Gishki dinosaurs, but no dinosaurs were featured in this game. But a key dinosaur card was. Let's go on to the next game. On to the next game. We got a very beautiful Gishki hand, but opponent is going first. It's going to happen. Opponents are going to go first, and they're playing Sword Soul. But where's my girl Mo Yi? Someone with the Strategist and the Taya. All right, now this is a pretty cool Sword Soul line. If you have the ability to summon your Strategist and your Taya instead of the my girl Mo Yi, what you do is you summon first the Sinister Sovereign Alonyan, and when you synchro summon while Alonyan is on the field, you get to draw a card. That is value. Our opponent burning us for 1,200. Summoning the Chiao. That means 2 searches. They get the Sinister Sovereign, draw a card, and they get a search with the Grandmaster, so I guess it's 1 search. So what would I search for if I was Sword Soul here? Well, they could stop us from summoning light monsters if they have a Protos. Protos could banish. Oh, looks like they're missing a card in graveyard. Right? They cannot summon Protos because they don't have an additional worm in graveyard to summon Protos. So opponent probably going to just summon or search for the Migro Moyi. Or they could search for any other Sword Soul card. Let's see. Let's see. All right, opponent getting the Blackout. All right, they're going to try and Blackout us. Well, we know how to play around Blackout. Opponent setting 3 back row. 3 back row. Sinister Sovereign will banish the first spell and monster that we activate, and also burn us for a bunch of damage. But it's okay. We like that. We like the pain. All right, we like the pain. And Sword Soul Grandmaster can target a monster, negate its effect. And opponent obviously has the blackout, and they got 2 other back row. That's a lot of interaction. But I believe in the power of Gishkis. Let's activate Gishki Shadow. Opponent has the maximum C. All right, you know what? We got to win. We don't want to give opponent too many cards, though. So, you know, we're going to play carefully. Let's get the Gishki Necro Mirror. Necro Mirror will let us tribute our opponent's monster. So let's do it. Let's activate the Necro Mirror, tribute our opponent's Sinister Sovereign. Unfortunately, they get to activate and banish this in response. But it's okay. It still resolves. It does not negate. It just banishes. And we had to be extra careful here, because we're paying life points to activate our effects. So if we'd activated this Photo Mirror, we could have been in a very bad spot. We'd have had 600 life points. Tribute our opponent's Sinister Sovereign. Get the Naramanis. Naramanis is on the field. Let's attack into the Grandmaster. Opponent activating a banish, targeting to negate our Naramanis, but that is fine. Let's just crash. We don't want to get impermed, and because we only had 1 card on the field, they were never able to activate the blackout. We never had 2 cards. They could never do it. Let's normal summon Therazia. They don't have a worm anymore, so blackout no longer live. Set an alert. Set frenzy. Set frenzy. Opponent, we got monster negate. We got double frenzy. We got the alert. Opponent setting a back row, or setting a face down. If this was a worm, they could have summoned it and activated blackout. So, you know, maybe they should have searched for My Girl Moyi. Frenzy, activate. It's Dinomorphia time. Let's just go straight into the Rex term, because our life points are already pretty low. We don't want our Therazia getting negated and not getting a Rex term. Opponent hitting us with the Lightning Storm. Alright, I made a mistake summoning this Rex term and attack. Usually it's the correct move, but opponent hitting us with Lightning Storm. Popping all our monsters. Luckily, they all float. Let's summon back the Therazia. Get another Dinomorphia Frenzy. Activate the alert. Resummon the Rex term. Opponent, it's our turn now. We got Fair of Flames. We got the Photo Mirror, which we cannot activate. Let's hit that Ash Blossom. That was a bit risky already. Well, we got 2,000 attack. Probably not that risky. Hit him with the Frenzy. Opponent, they still got 3 set back row. Who knows what these are? Opponent has no plays. They didn't draw a worm, and they are done. Beautiful. Dinomorph victory. Let's go on to the next game. I don't know if you noticed, but our last game was versus Naruto. Naruto of the Hidden Leaf Village, soundly defeated by the Gishki dinosaurs. Let's go first. Activate Gishki Vision, get ourselves the Gishki Naramanis, and this is what you want to see. Alright, Dinomorphia Frenzy, and your Gishki line. But opponent hitting us with the Impermanence. We have been infinitely Impermanence, and our Gishki Grimness line is no longer alive. But that's okay. We got Dinomorphia Frenzy, we got the Fair Flames to protect our life points. We got the maximum C. Opponent, your move. Opponent playing Tri-Brigades. Don't see this deck very often. Let's get Dinomorphia. Opponent hitting our Dinomorphs with the Ash Blossom. Alright, this is bad news. Now we got nothing except the Fair Flames to protect. Gishki Grimness doing nothing. Dinomorphia Frenzy doing nothing. We're in big trouble. Is this it? Is this the end of the line? Is this the end of the line? Is our win streak done? Opponent going into the All Mirage. But, oh, maximum C. I forgot. Maximum C. We have the ability to draw cards whenever opponent summons. Fractal. In the hand. Kara's going to discard the Fractal to summon itself. Kara's going to activate. Banishing to link summon a Bird of Sovereignty. Alright. Now, I was thinking, well, I could activate my Fair Flames. And then, because they're 2,000... Oh, hold on. I cannot activate Fair Flames yet. Fair Flames is not activatable. They got to have combined attack greater than our life points. Now the Fair Flames is activatable. Do we activate Fair Flames here? Opponent just keeps the Simorg, so it doesn't really do anything. They also get to... They should really get rid of the Karis. Alright, now we have 1,000 life points. Now we activate the Fair Flames. The Simorg is gone. The Karis is gone. But I'm like, I don't know, like, this deck Tri-Brigade, like, what are they going to get with Simorg? Like, it's probably nothing. I'm just going to let them get whatever they're going to get. We'll activate Fair Flames after. Opponent sets the face down. Activates the Simorg and gets a Mist Valley Apex Avian, which is a negate. Quick effect negate. So Fair Flames no longer able to clear the field. We got to bait the negate first. Opponent also 1 set back row. We got to play through it, but we thankfully Max C drew us a billion cards. Gishki Shadow. Get activated. Opponent hits it with the Call by the Grave. That's why we did it. Though we should have probably just done the Vision first. That was a mistake. Alright, we should have done the Vision first. because we kind of wanted that ritual spell, but it's okay. All right, it's fine. We, you know, not a misplay. We wanted them to use that Call by the Grave. Gishki Shadow has been banished and negated. Let's normal summon the Gishki Grimness opponent, choosing not to negate with the Mist Valley Apex Avian Gishki Abyss. Going to get searching for another shadow, and I'm not a fool. All right, I know it's negated. I know they cross out designated or Call by the Grave it. Finger negate. So shadow not activatable this turn. Let's link Shokan into IP Masquerena. Let's set 2 face down and let's pass to the opponent. Opponent get an Tri Brigade Nerval. And you might be thinking, hey, you didn't clear the negate. This is, what's this doing? You can't even activate this. You got Ferret Flames, you got an Imperm. You know, this is not going to work. But I believe. All right, we got the line. I believe we got the line. Opponent activating All Mirage to protect their Simorg. That doesn't do anything. Stops it from being destroyed. Maybe they just need to clear space for a Tri-Brigade Fairjet. Activating that Parallax Seed. And we're holding. We're holding. We're holding. Big hold. We are holding. Trap Trick's got to activate last, because once we activate Trap Trick, we can't activate any more effects of traps. So, Fair Flames, we got to hold. We got to hold. Opponent getting the Karis. Activating the Parallax Seed. Summoning another Parallax Seed. Fairjet summoning a monster from the hand. And you know what? Before they do any more summoning, I think it's time. Let's activate the Ferret Flames. Right now, we have 1,000 life points, so opponent gets to keep exactly 1 monster. Alright, 1 monster gets to be kept. Opponent activating the Mist Valley Apex Avian. In response, we are going to negate the Avian. And we're going to respond with our Trap Trick, setting up our Dinomorphia card. Because once we do, we'll pay half our life points. Opponent will not be able to activate their Tri-Brigade kit. Our life points will be too low. Negate the Mist Valley. Banish all your cards. We knew they were going to keep the kit because they're like, I'm going to special summon my Tri-Brigade, the big one. Where is he? Where is he? This one. Tri-Brigade Rugal. No, not Rugal, the other one. Where is he? Tri-Brigade, the one that banishes cards. Shurig, who is a bird, but he's actually a man. Shurig banishes cards on the field. They're going to banish our IP Masquerena, banish our back row. I don't think so. Dinomorphia Frenzy. Summon the Rex term. Oh, just kidding. We're getting greedy. All right, this is ignition effect, so we can do this because the opponent cannot activate at quick speed, so we get to do this first. All right, Kentragina activate. Get the Rex term. Opponent will not be able to activate their effects. They're getting Dinomorbed, and opponent is done. They could not handle it. Beautiful games from the Gishki Dinomorbs. Hope you like them as much as I do. Let's go on to Sink or Swim. Alright, on to Sink or Swim, where people send me their sweet replays. Let's see what sort of sweet replay we got. And it looks like we got Mizuki, Hyjin, the Winged Mayakashi. We got some Mayakashis here from Protocurity. Opponent is going first with the Pot of Extravagance, drawing 2 cards. Pot agreed. This is in the Duelist Cup that happened recently. I know this was a while ago, but I'm getting through my replays, alright? I'm doing my best. How does Mayakashis beat 3-set back row? What is this, Labyrinth? Opponent hitting us with the Maxi. Oh, no. Now, they don't know that we're playing Mayakashis, but one thing that I know is that Mayakashis will literally summon infinity times, and this Maxi might be lethal. We'll see. It would be very hilarious if we got the full Maxi deck out from 30 cards with Mayakashis. Opponent hitting us with the Imperm. Winged Mayakashi has been negated, but we still got our normal. Let's get activating the Mayakashi return. Take a Mayakashi from the deck, add it to your hand. Summon the Daki Graceful Mayakashi. Opponent with a Dogmatic of Punishment, punishing our Mayakashi and punishing our other Mayakashi. But hold on a second, Mizuki in the graveyard. Banish this card from the graveyard. Target a zombie in your graveyard. Special summon that target. The Sneaky with the 1-for-1. We discarded it, and now we get to Mayakashi again. Activate the Yuki Masumi. Special summon the Oboro Garuma. And this is it. This is the chain. They synchro summon, and then the Mayakashi comes back. And you just keep doing it every time you make a bigger monster. And it just keeps going on and on. Opponent drawing a billion cards. But can Mayakashis get lethal for 8,000 damage? They still got a set back row. Plus, it is Labyrinth, meaning they got activatable effects. They can do full Labyrinth combo on our turn. Opponent activating their Labyrinth cards. Set in a Labyrinth. Welcome Labyrinth. Big welcome Labyrinth. Activating the Ku Clock on the field to get big welcoming. Summoning the lovely lady, lovely lady. If a monster leaves their field, they get to activate pop a card. Leaves the field, triggers the lady. Opponent gonna pop our Mayakashis. Are we done? Have Mayakashis been outed? Opponent chooses to pop a card in the hand. What are you doing, Labyrinths? You gotta pop the Mayakashi on the field. You got to. Alright, I don't know. Do these have an effect? If you're destroyed by a card effect, you can banish a zombie, special summon. Okay, maybe it wouldn't have mattered. But I'm pretty sure they should have. I'm pretty sure they should have popped the Daki. All right, you tell me how to play Mayakashis. Yoko, the graceful Mayakashi. Activate the Daki, get it back. Synchro summon the Gasha Dorkuru. Skeletal Mayakashi. Synchro summon. Oh, just kidding. Link summon. Yugioh, the Ice Mayakashi. Opponent has 17 cards left in the deck. Activating the effect of the Lady Labyrinth. But how are we getting lethal? How are we getting lethal here? Synchro Link Summon again into another Yugioh. Activate to target. And what are we doing? What is this effect? Alright, what is this effect? Activate the effect. If this card is special summon, you can target an effect monster and negate its effects. That's not really doing anything. Negating the Stovey. The Torby, sorry. Stovey Torby. We are resummoning the graceful Mayakashi. We are Link summoning another Yugioh. Opponent down to 14 cards. How are we summoning 13 more times? I believe in Mayakashis, but I don't know what's going on. We are negating our own Daki. We are banishing to summon the Tengu. We're popping a back row. We're going to battle. 300 damage. The summoning the Tushimo again. And oh my god, what just happened? It looks like a bunch of cards just got sent to the graveyard. I do not know what happened. Oh, each player sent the top 3 cards of their deck to the graveyard. Opponent only has 7 cards left. Activate the Oboguruma. It summons itself in defense mode. We're attacking again. If this card is special summoned with the graveyard, you can activate its effect. Monsters your opponent control cannot be destroyed by battle. Alright, we're attacking with the Yugioh. Popping the opponent's monster. We are summoning another Tsushigomo. And this is it. We got easily 5 more summons. Mayakashi hitting them with the Maxi challenge. You Maxi me. That is your game loss. Mayakashi summon infinity times. We got him all the way from 33 cards down to 2. Down to 1. 0 cards left in the deck against Labyrinth. Opponent desperately setting the big welcome Labyrinth, but it is too late. Opponent forced to draw with the Maxi. That is game. Beautiful Mayakashi victory. I am very impressed. Thank you for that beautiful game. Protocurity, you get a swim. Let's go on to the Gishki Dinomorph deck list. Alright, here is the Dino Gishki deck list. If you want to see my deck for the ritual event, make sure to subscribe because I will be back next time with the ritual event where we are going to be playing a very spicy water deck list. Alright, we got 2 copies of Gishki Abyss. We got triple Maximum C. We got 2 Gishki Visions. We got triple Grimness. We got 2 Ash Blossoms. Triple Gishki Shadow. Triple Therazia. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, Therazia is so expensive. Alright, do I have to play Therazia? No, you can play the other level 4 Dinomorphia. It's not as good if you normal summon it, but it lets you access your Dinomorphia Frenzy, your Dinomorphia Trap Trick. It's all good. We got 1 Nibiru. Did Nibiru do anything today? No, but he's good. He's a boy. Alright, we got Zilgigas. We got Neramanus ×2. We got triple focused Aqua Mirror. We got the Gishki Aqua Mirror. We got the Photo Mirror. We got the Necro Mirror. We got the Aqua Mirror Illusion. We got 2 copies of Ferret Flames. This card is so good. I cannot believe this is an N. This deserves to be a UR. We got 2 copies of Imperm. We got triple Trap Trick. We got the Dinomorphia Alert. We got the triple Dinomorphia Frenzy in the extra deck. We got the minimalistic Dinomorphia package. We got Dinomorphia Kentragina. 2 copies of the Stealth Burgio, 1 Rex Term. We got the Gishki OTK Gun Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. We got Nightmare Phoenix. We got Marincess Coral Anemone. We got IP Masquerena. We got Sprite Elf ×2. We got the Nightmare Unicorn. We got Blackluster Soldier of Chaos. He did not get summoned today. We got the Appaloosa. We got the Access Code Docker. And we got the Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, aka Underworld Mommy. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you next time. Have a good night.